Howdy. Welcome to Padre Island. This is the longest barrier island in the world. What is a barrier island, you might ask? Well, it's this giant long piece of sand that gets deposited out into the ocean off of the coast, because as the waves come in, they crash in sideways and pull all this sediment down. Now, if you look off to the side here, you can actually see as the waves are traveling down the beach, they're continuing to move on down a little ways. It's not much, but this gradual effect is actually what causes the whole barrier island to form, which creates these amazing ecosystems like these dunes over here. Now, if we come up over the top of these dunes here, we can see out to the main part of this barrier island. Up in front of us are these marine dunes that we have caused by the ocean waves, and then these are the aeolian dunes. Basically, they're formed by the changing in the wind currents in the directions based off of the heat capacity of the water versus the heat capacity of the land. As one of them cools down and heats up differently, the wind direction will switch, and you'll get these neat dune formations with this cross-trough bedding. If you look out way in the distance, you can actually see the lagoon on the other side. And that's the inlet piece of water that's protected by these barrier islands. It creates a great fishing environment and some awesome salt flats. We'll be there later today. So, the beach, right? Pretty cool. This is the beach when it's fall. What happens to the beach whenever there's a giant storm and you get these massive waves crashing in, big old winds? You get overwash. What is overwash? Basically, that's when the water here gets pushed way up over these dunes and crashes into the mainland of the barrier island, creating these awesome fan patterns as the sediment is deposited. We're going to go check one out right now. This right here is the beginnings of a fan. It's starting to push through. That's the last storm. And you can see some of the sediments starting to pile up in the back of here. There's another real big one way down that way, but I don't think we're making it today. But this one's pretty neat. Not as cool, but still a good example. So, these ocean waves are taking the sediment down the beach, right? They're depositing it further and further down. What's that mean for us? What's that going to do? This is going to erode the island away. And actually, it's kind of cool, because during the wintertime, more of the sediment gets stored out in the bay, and during the summertime, more of the sediment gets stored on the island. And that has to do with the amount of energy that's in the waves and how much they're crashing back and forth. During the wintertime, you got a little bit less energy and it's slower down. So your sediments get transported out and stored deep in the waters. Whereas the summertime, you're going to get a lot more sediment on the beach. So you get longer beaches, more sand, stuff like that. Now, what do humans do to stop these effects and to control the environment to make it better for us? Well, we build things like jetties. We'll be there later today. So this is the Port Aransas jetty. It stops a lot of the sediment transport across this channel here, keeps it open for shipping, allows big ships like the tanker that we saw go by. It's all made out of this granite from the Llano uplift in central Texas. It's pretty neat. And seawalls. That protects the ocean from taking the sediment and pulling it away. It also protects from overwash. If you have some sort of a city or a town, your seawall will protect you from your overwash wiping out all of your buildings. Pretty cool. The jetties. They're the piers of rock that they build out into the water, and it preserves the shipping channel, basically between two islands. You have this channel that the boats can go in and out of to get to the bay. And the reason we do that is because otherwise the sand would continue to shift back and forth and change this opening of the channel one way or the other based off of how strong the tides are. And that's not very good for things whenever you need to have a consistent shipping or like an environment that's conducive to people. So, the more you know.